Can I help you?
Yeah, just skating. I'm okay.
It's not a skating rink anymore.
Oh, really?
It's a storage facility.
Oh, I was wondering why there was all these walls up. That's cool. Let's go talk about it.
All right.
This is Modern Storage Unpacked. Let's go.
Welcome back to Modern Storage Unpacked. We're really excited that, first off, now I'm in normal shoes. I can walk and get my bearings down. But we are here at our Hot Springs location with Mike. Super exciting. This is another conversion facility that we have. And just before we get into it, Mike, for people who do not know you, can you tell us like who you are, how long you've been with us, what your role is here with Modern Storage?
Yeah, my name is Mike, and I'm the manager here at Modern Storage Hot Springs, and I've been here coming up on 3 years.
What is one thing that you wish customers understood about what it takes to run a storage facility day to day in your past 3 years being here?
Yeah, I think a lot of people assume we're just sitting here at the desk all day, ignoring phone calls or, kind of piddling around, but there's quite a bit to do to keep a property maintained, and you just kind of have to stay on top of making sure that the place is secure, the property's clean, trash is getting picked up. So there's really quite a bit to it. We don't have many days where there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes.
A lot of times we're rushing to the desk to help somebody, but most of the time we're out and about taking care of things.
Absolutely. Before we get into this building specifically, give us a 30-second pitch. What makes Hot Springs, this location, so different compared to our other locations?
Well, first off, we've got a great view. We're probably the only storage facility with a view of the lake. Beyond that, it's a repurposed building. It was the skating rink previously. So that being said, it's got a very great access. It's right here on Higdon Ferry. It's in a main traffic area of the town. It also utilizes smart locks. So we've got a couple different options if you don't want to use a smartphone to unlock your unit, unlock the building. We've also got options. You can use a standard lock and key, but a little bit of variety. We've got a little bit of something for everybody as far as what we offer.
Do you ever have customers that mention that they used to skate here? I have to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe 1 out of 3 has some story to tell me about when they were a kid, they skated here. They met their husband here. And I myself actually skated here. It's been a while, but yeah, we used to come here in middle school, junior high, and spent quite a few nights up here skating.
Absolutely. Can you still skate today is the big question.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, maybe
I would doubt it.
After this. Well, please tell me, what are some of the key amenities that tenants really love here?
Yeah, so the biggest one's probably our Starbucks coffee bar. That's probably most used amenity, but I've got people stopping in on their way to work, or people who use their unit for business purposes, and they'll stop in and grab a cup of coffee on the way through. Yeah. Of course, we've also got complimentary water and tea. Yes. Movers love the water fridge. They'll come in, take a quick break, use the restroom, grab a bottle of water, and get back on their way. And then, of course, we've got just a nice kind of lounging area in the lobby where you can sit. If you're waiting on somebody, or if there's multiple people here and somebody's doing the paperwork, they can just kind of sit and hang out and relax. And then, of course, the conference room. People book the conference room for all kinds of stuff. I've had, Bible studies, CPR training classes, just all kinds of different things. So
that's the first I've heard now. I've heard a lot, but CPR training now, that's something I would probably want to be a part of. Like, hey, can I join for free? So I have to ask, what kind of tenants do you cater to here at this location?
Oh, it'd be hard to narrow it down to one type of tenant we cater to. We've got a little bit of something for everybody. We've got, small business owners, online business owners. We've got, people downsizing from a large home to a small home, or renovating a house. And we've got people that just use it for their everyday business. We've got tenants that are here every single day. Kind
of something for everybody. That's good to know. As far as like our office goes, I know we kind of have a similar look with, our brand. What do you think makes a storage office really feel welcoming instead of maybe like intimidating when you first come in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the nice open lighting and the ability to move around a little bit. It's not cramped. It's not stuffy. It's really not. A lot of people walk in and say, oh, this is like a hotel lobby. It kind of sets up a different vibe altogether as far as not feeling like you're walking into a cramped space.
Yes. All right, so Mike, can you paint a picture for us? What really was this building originally? Like, I know we see this is a typical Modern Storage office, but I know you kind of said it was a skating rink, but what was it? Do you remember the name?
Yeah, so this was Skateland Skating Rink from, I'd say about 1975-ish up until, I want to say right around 2021.
Okay, wow.
And then downstairs, a lot of people don't know this, but it was a flea market. So I used to frequent it quite a bit. It was a really big flea market, a lot of cool old booths with all kinds of antiquities and stuff. So
Yeah.
Pretty interesting property as far as what it used to be.
I can imagine. You get a lot of those people coming in just really kind of, oh, I used to shop here, skate here. You kind of get that mix of everything. That is
Every now and then I'll have somebody come in and say, we're looking for the skating rink. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It's no longer a skating rink.
Yep.
In the right place.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we go check out inside some of the property a little bit, go see where the storage units are.
All right.
All right, Mike. So as we're walking, can you tell me what is one thing that you are really proud of about this location?
Well, I think I'm probably most proud that it's a very quiet property with respect to a lot of people are super happy to have us here because they've had a lot of storage issues other places. So it's really nice to have a place where people feel safe. They're super excited to get into a nice, secure, climate-controlled facility where someone's actually here and keeping an eye on their stuff for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's always probably the thing that makes me most proud.
Yeah.
People are bragging on how safe they feel here. So
That's amazing. That's really great to hear. It's a big part of it too, of choosing where to store is that safety and your stuff is actually secure. Do you ever have people surprised when they walk in? They're like, oh my gosh, I used to be able to see from one end to the other, and now just seeing units after units. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely different in the skating area. Obviously, it used to be a big wide open, essentially floor, but it's chopped up. You can still kind of see it, but now it's all sections of storage units. It's night and day difference in what it used to be and what it is now.
How does the layout of a skating rink change how the storage facility feels compared to maybe a normal building? Like if we kind of built from the ground up a brand new building versus this conversion, how does that, do you notice the feeling of the difference between the two?
A little bit, yeah, I do. There's just certain things like, vaulted ceilings, certain areas that make it feel a little bigger and more lighting in certain areas than you'd normally expect. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a few things. It definitely doesn't feel like our normal presentation of a brand new ground up storage facility, but it functions the same, and certain aspects of it actually make it a little better.
Absolutely. So are there any clues that show what this building was originally? Maybe anything that you guys kept in this as you guys made this into modern storage?
We actually still have the original hardwood floor from the skating rink. So when people are opening up a 10 by 10 climate control to put their things in there, they're storing it on the old skating rink floor. So some units you can actually see the lines you used to skate around and the different starting points and ending points.
That's where I was on originally?
Yeah.
Let's go check that out. We definitely got to go see and talk about that.
All right. Yeah, so another feature that we maybe didn't keep but adapted is this is actually the door you used to get dropped off at to come skating. There was an awning out there that was all, brick and shingle like a little carport, and parents would just drive their minivan through there, drop the kids off.
Yeah.
And we just lifted up a little bit to accommodate a tractor trailer or moving truck or whatever people need for the moving.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What is your favorite part about managing this location?
Well, it's probably my tenants. I've got a really easy group of tenants that, like I said, a lot of them are just happy to have a safe, secure place to store, happy somebody's here to pick up the phone and come out and assist them. So I really like it. People seem to really appreciate the kind of modernized swing on the storage experience as far as just having a person to talk to that can help them with things.
Wow. So this is actually the original flooring.
It is.
That is amazing. We are standing on an original skating rink. What was it called again? Skateland?
Skateland.
Awesome. Yeah. How cool is that? How many customers notice this right away?
Oh, if they know or they skated here, it's almost instantaneous. People walking in like, I used to skate here. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that's what this was.
Yeah,
so,
that's amazing.
Pretty frequently,
They're probably I busted it right there by unit 111.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Do you ever think about how many people have maybe wiped out whatever you're looking at some corners or some, little scratches, be like, yep, person definitely fell there.
Yeah. Well, I've actually have people that'll point out, oh, I met my husband right here, or I wiped out right here, or I fell and chipped a tooth over here. So people always give me little stories about their experiences.
So cool. I was just going to ask you, does the building ever feel nostalgic to customers who grew up and really coming here? But it sounds like you get that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty frequent. It's if not every day, several times a week, people are reminiscing about when it was a skating rink.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think we should ever have like a modern storage skate night, like staff skate night, just for the vibes?
I don't know if it'd work out. The angles are a little sharper these days. It's
Yeah.
not so much a round turn as a harsh turn on the corners.
Absolutely.
So it may not work out.
Okay, well, no worries at all. I know that you mentioned that this location has a couple like higher tech things like those smart latches. Do you think you can show us a little bit about them?
Yeah. So the big benefit of the smart latches is the ability to track and monitor well above what you can do with just a normal, lock and key type facility because it logs everything that happens. So it's great for like businesses. If they're going to have several people in and out of a unit, they can share that access digitally.
Yeah.
And they can see who's coming and going. So if like, oh, I wonder if Bill made it to the storage, they can just set up notifications where they know if someone they've shared access with is accessing the unit. Awesome. And that really helps business customers especially, or people facilitating a move, or if they just send a family member to grab something out of the unit, they'll know when they get there. So.
Yeah. Well, do you mind showing us kind of how it works?
Yeah, so
I'm curious.
it's really easy. You just use your Bluetooth passively and you just wake up the unit and then you'll just tap the corresponding button on your phone and it unlocks using your Bluetooth.
Wow.
You slide the latch over.
That is so convenient. I love that. Is there something that you think Modern Storage does differently compared to maybe other competitors in the area that you feel like they kind of appreciate?
Yeah, I think the extra attention to customer service is probably because I generally will walk out here if someone calls and says I'm having trouble with my lock or I forgot how to do this. I just come out here and see them.
Yeah.
There's two of us here, so we'll have somebody run downstairs and help show somebody, but we're real hands-on with the actual touring the facility, choosing between different sizes, and really finding exactly what unit fits someone's needs the best.
Yeah.
And then just making sure they're comfortable with the access for it. And
That's awesome. And you have climate options. You offer non-climate options as well.
yeah, we've also got drive-up options, non-climate, but primarily climate control units inside.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for showing us around. It was really cool seeing this original flooring, hearing a little bit of the history about it. I'd love to kind of wrap up in the office with a few questions before we let you get back to it with the customers, okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. I love these chairs too. The first green ones I've seen.
Yeah.
I know that I asked you earlier what your favorite part was managing this property. What would you say the hardest part is?
The hardest part is probably, moving is a lot of times a stressful deal for people, whether they're, moving homes or they had a natural disaster. So I guess just getting people to kind of just let us take the worry out of this part of it for them. A lot of people come in, I think, a little more stressed out than they need to be, just given prior experiences with storage. So sometimes it's just building that rapport and helping people understand we're going to help you get what you need and we're going to help you throughout the process.
Like, just tell me what you got and I'll tell you what size you need.
Right,
we got it from you. Absolutely. I like that. What's a moment you've had here that reminded you why this job really matters?
I think so. One that sticks out to me is I had somebody who had storage elsewhere and they had a burglary and they came in about 5:25 in the evening. We didn't really have the right size large space to accommodate their needs. They needed several large spaces, but they wanted to get out of their other units immediately. So stayed up here till like 6:30, got them in. I think it was like 12 or 13 different smaller units just to help them secure, a place to take their stuff immediately because they were so stressed out about it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah,
It's a scary experience, absolutely. And staying an hour late and like just really being there. We didn't have the specific size you're looking for, but between what we have, we'll make something work where we got a place to store your stuff. That is awesome. If you've had to give one piece of advice to someone managing maybe their first storage facility, could be a conversion, maybe not so much a skating one, what would that be?
I'll just say you've got to really pay attention to what's going on. I guess one thing I probably picked up in 3 years of doing this is there's signs when there's going to be trouble or when there's problems, and you kind of have to, trust your instincts on things. So does it look right? It's probably not right. And so I think just staying out ahead of issues, or if you see someone's having trouble with the door, just go meet them and help them real quick before it becomes a, point of contention. So I think just staying one step ahead throughout the process and just making sure you're there before you're really needed to be there is probably the biggest.
I love that. I see why you've been here for 3 years. Being one step ahead, that is a great one. Kind of tying back into a little bit back towards the conversion of it all. Were you like here through that transition and through that process? Like, did you get to see, I know we've had a lot of clips on our Riverdale location of like what it looked like before. You know, this is unfortunately before the podcast when this facility came about, but did you get to see at all the transition through construction and kind of like trying to understand the vision and then seeing the final product of it all?
Yeah, so the upper level, it's a 2-story facility, so the upper level was pretty well ready to go other than, I mean, I probably spent, I don't know, 2 weeks up here at night with a floor cleaner, just scrubbing floors and after the final construction. But about a year and a half later, we opened up the lower level, which used to be a flea market actually. And so really getting to see that go from essentially an open parking deck looking space to a completely built and filled out storage facility. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of both sort of was ready to go when I got here, but also got to push it along and be part of that construction and upgrade.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. I like that. I really appreciate you taking time to just meet with us today, walk us through this place a little bit, show us a little bit of the storage units, the smart latches that you have here, and just a little bit about the general history of it all. You know, it sounds like you were really kind of raised up here in Hot Springs, so some of us not so locals may not know the history of it all, but I'm sure a lot of people that are, from what you've heard, about 1 in 3 tenants, you said, mentions that they used to skate here, or they met their husband here, or fallen many times. So I appreciate you just kind of going through all that with us. I think it's something pretty unique, and you know, there are challenges, upsides, downsides to every build, whether it's conversion or not, but I do think it's really cool to have a building with some history to it all as well. If anybody is new to Hot Springs and needs a storage, what would you want them to know about this facility?
We're staffed 7 days a week, so if you need it now, you need it later, you don't even really know, we've got demonstration units. You can come in, check it out. We'll show you the different size options. Really easy to get along with as far as, oh, I need something in 3 months. We'll keep in contact with you between now and then, or we don't have what you need. We'll contact you when we do.
Love that. Well, thank you again. If you guys are ever in Hot Springs, you guys need to come check out this skating rink turned storage facility for yourselves and see the original floor. It is definitely worth a visit. At the end of the day, storage isn't so much just about like walls and doors. It's the space people need in between life chapters. And you know, sometimes those chapters happen in a building that used to be a skating rink. So thank you guys all for watching and coming with us on this podcast. We will see you guys next time on Modern Storage Unpacked.
That's a wrap for this episode of Modern Storage Unpacked. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe. See you next time.